My name is Sean Peck, and I'm one of the assistant principals at Faribault High School. Each week we like to come on Facebook Live and talk a little bit about what's going on in our school and what's going on in the Faribault Public School District. And this week we're very, very fortunate to be able to be joined by two of our wonderful students who are going to talk to us a little bit, and also by our superintendent of schools, Mr. Sesker. So we're going to talk a little bit about an upcoming vote that's very, very important to our schools and our district and our community. Before we get started and all that, I think what we'll do is we'll just have everybody introduce themselves so that you know who you're being joined by today.
Okay, hi, my name is Brianna Maciel. I'm the student council president here at Faribault High School. Here to talk about the levy. I hope to just pursue a four-year college after high school.
My name is Chao Trung. I am the senior class president of 2019-2020, and my plans for after high school are going to a private liberal arts college like St. Olaf or Gustavus and studying physics.
Good. And my name is Todd Sesker. I'm your superintendent of schools, and I'm very happy to join Mr. Peck and these two great students to have a little bit of a chance to talk about the operating levy that's coming up on November 5th and how that may have affected you guys as you went through your high school career and what that impact was. So the operating levy is going to be the only question on the ballot on November 5th. We're not electing a president. We're not electing a governor. It is the only question. And there are two questions on the ballot. The first question is asking voters to approve our high school to go to a 7-period day. Right now we have a 6-period day, and we're the only school in the Big 9 conference that has a 6-period day. So we'd like to change that and move to a 7-period day, which will offer more electives, and I'm sure that you guys can talk a little bit about that. Mm-hmm. The second question deals with transportation, and right now our transportation radius around the high school is 2 miles. And what that means is that if you live between 1 mile and 2 miles, an example would be if you live up at the viaduct over by the Quick Trip up there in that area, that's about 1.95 miles away from the high school.
It's a long ways.
It is. And so if the weather's poor and you're a 9th grader, a 10th grader, 11th or 12th grader, then you have to walk to school. You are not provided any transportation. We'd like to reduce that to 1 mile for the high school. All the other schools are currently 1 mile. And that way those kids would have the option of riding a bus. The second part of the question number 2 is to offer more student support services, whether it's in the elementary or the middle school, or an example at the high school that we've done so far is our 9th grade academy, which has been incredibly successful. We would like to give more information to the public about what that's going to be after this passes, because we want to make sure that we make the right choice for those supportive programs for kids when that comes. So those are the 2 questions on the ballot, the 7-period day and the transportation piece. Those are the major pieces within that whole deal. So with that, I think I'm going to turn it over to Bree, and maybe you can talk us through a little bit about having more electives throughout your high school career and what that could have meant for you.
Okay, absolutely. So in the beginning of my freshman, sophomore year, and also a bit of my junior, I was a part of the orchestra here. If you were to attend like a musical class or any of those type of electives, you actually can't take gym or health class within that year. So I actually had to go to summer school, and when I could have been working and trying to save up more money for like college or a car, I was here at the school, which is, of course, it's okay. But I was here just having to get my credits done, and then just having to get that done. And if I could take that during the school, if we had that 7-period day, I would have been able to have that free summer and been able to keep my music elective and also been able to just participate in the gym and also health elective.
Good. And how about you, Chuck? How would that affect you?
So I had the same conflicts that Bree did, and I also took American government over the summer leading into my junior year, able for me to free up more time for my science electives because I want to major in a science field. And so that was kind of hard because then I had to take 3 years of summer school, which is, it's great being at Faribault High School, but I think I could have done more with my time in the summer than be at the school. So.
We worked on pride a lot at the school,
Right.
In all our schools. It sounds like you guys have a lot of pride for what you do here at Faribault Schools. What are some of the activities that you're involved in right now? I know that, Jeff, for instance, you play tennis. You guys are in a ton of activities. Can you just talk to the audience about all the activities you're in? It gives people a perspective on what we actually offer here.
Okay. For me, I used to be a part of just a bit of the science team. Right now, my main goal is just student council and that type of work. I know Chow here is definitely.
You name it, she's in it.
Yeah, literally.
So I'm involved. So I'm the senior class president again. I do a lot of stuff with student council. I've also played varsity tennis for a majority of my high school career. I do math and science team. I also did stops for a long time. I did link crew. I'm also the president of National Honor Society here at the high school.
And we have the orchestra involved. Are you guys
Oh,
involved in
yeah.
orchestra? What other extracurricular activities or electives do we offer here?
So I did orchestra. I'm currently involved in 2 of the art class electives that were in here. Another thing just to note is that I actually cannot be able to take advanced drawing and art because I wasn't able to my junior year because of all my core classes. So right now I'm just trying to do what I can because of the elective type of thing that's going on.
Yeah.
But I am part of the arts. I've done cooking here, and then I've just basically done most of the art electives that we offer.
And I will brag up Bria a little bit. I've seen some of her art and it's phenomenal. She's extremely talented. And so, I think selfishly it would be great to be able to have you take some more of those classes and be able to pursue that talent and that dream you have of being a successful artist, and fitting that into your school day so that you're not inconvenienced and your family is an inconvenience to have to get you to school over the summer or something like that.
Yeah, especially since I was just a sophomore or a junior during that. When the alumni came to the school, we actually talked to some of them, and they had even said that because of the electives that they took here at the school, that's what kind of led them to their career. So it's possible that if I took more art classes, I would have had more of an involvement with the arts, and I would have been able to pursue that as my actual career.
Right.
And I know we've talked a lot about pathways of excellence that we're talking about. We have 2 really great pathways here. Our business academy has been terrific.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're both involved in DECA or not, maybe not, but that's another offering that we have for kids. And then also our teacher cadet academy has been incredibly successful this year too. So do you want to talk a little bit about the pathways and what we're looking at next year with this implementation?
So the idea would be that starting out when you're quite young, 14, 15, 16 years old, you could sort of enter into this pathway of classes that would be a sequential, course of study, semester after semester, that when you're finished with it, you would either wind up with some sort of certification, some sort of internship, a job experience, a mentorship with somebody who's working in the community, so that when you get done with high school, you've sort of set yourself up to be able to take that next step and know exactly kind of what you're into. Or at the very worst, maybe you went through a pathway and you discovered that, maybe teaching isn't for me.
Right.
And that's an okay thing. I think that sometimes knowing that before you go off to a 4-year school and pay thousands of dollars for college tuition, if we could have done that in the high school setting, it would have saved people a lot of time and money, quite honestly, at their 4-year school. So right now I feel really, really proud and happy with our course guide. Teacher Cadet Academy, our AVID program is extremely solid. We've got an award-winning auto services program.
Mm-hmm.
Our woods, our metals, our foods classes are packed. Kids love those classes. Our business classes are extremely successful. Our DECA program is winning awards at every turn. And so we have so much to offer. And then we have students that are extremely gifted, extremely talented, and they want to pursue all of these things, and they just can't. Because the state says that we have to do these classes, and these classes, they're required of every student in the state of Minnesota. And other schools in our conference, actually, we're the only one, Mr. Sesker said, in a 6-period day. They have a whole nother period each day, both semesters, for 4 years. That amounts to 8 additional classes that a student can take at other high schools that we just can't offer. And so I just think about what would happen to our senior class president, our student council president, and all the other hundreds and hundreds of kids that go here if they just had those opportunities. What would they be capable of? What would the potential be if they were able to find themselves into those classes? And we'll never know until we actually do it.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit biased. Maybe my bias is showing here a little bit. But I think that knowing our students, and knowing their families and knowing kind of the potential and the greatness that they all have within them, making sure that our school recognizes that and sets them up for success, I think is a really important thing.
Yeah, it sounds like it touches all students too. It's not just a certain, all students, whether they're going to be career ready, post-secondary ready, it doesn't make any difference. This could touch all students.
Yeah.
So that's really great. Anything else that you would like to add, Mr. Peck or Bree?
Well, one of the questions that's coming up, and I don't know the answer to this, but we're considering on the second question reducing the transportation radius from 2 miles down to 1 mile. That means that if you live, I think you said 1.9 something miles away, you're forced to walk through the snow as a high school student through the snow and the cold. And I'm wondering if either of you were ever affected by that. Do you ride the bus, or was that not something that you were ever doing?
I actually have. I've rode the bus a lot. So when I went to the middle school, I was eligible to ride the bus, and so I would go just walk down the block, and like that would be fine because my parents, they both are very busy people. They would wake up at 5 in the morning, and I wouldn't see them, wake myself up, all that type of stuff. And then when I got to the high school, they didn't allow me to get on the bus because the high school was closer to my house than the middle school was. So I actually have been affected by the transportation. So I think for just the people that live around my area, and I know there are a lot of kids that live around my area, that levy would really benefit them, so they don't have to hurt and harm their parents' work.
Yeah.
When in fact, I think there's about 170 kids we figured out that would be affected by it, that would opt for transportation.
Right, yeah.
And one of the things that we really learned from our community is that they want to improve our graduation rates and our academic scores. And if we can get kids to school, we know that will improve. And so it's a logical thing. It may seem all too logical, but we haven't been able to do it because we haven't had the finances to support it. It costs money. So that's the reason why we're asking for this. The first question will cost taxpayers about $65 a year for an average home. An average home in Faribault is about $175,000. That's the value of it. Of course, that tax goes up or down depending on the value of your home. For a farm, it's the 1 acre and the house and the garage that it sits on. If that's valued at $175,000, then that first question's impact is $65 a year. The second question with the transportation is $34 a year. We think it's very manageable. In fact, we did a survey with our community last year. They said that this would have a chance of passing if it were under $100, and ironically, it's $99. So there you go. So we think that the benefits are huge, and we really feel that it's going to have a positive impact on not just our school system itself, but also the pride that our students see and support that our students will see from this community. So do you guys want to add anything at all? I'll give you guys the last chance to talk.
Yeah. I just think it's really important for adults to see the importance of education within our community. So the youth is our future. And if we have educated youth and if we have experienced youth, the better the future will be for everyone. So I hope you guys look at our time as an opportunity to rethink the levy and how important it would be, not just for us, but for future generations beyond this.
Great.
Absolutely. So last year when the levy came, my parents were actually against it. But after I talked to Todd on Monday, I talked to them again about it. They were actually more on board because of the cost and what's going to benefit for the future. Even though me and Chow will be gone once the levy's kind of in place, we still think it's important just for our younger classmen because we do see how it does affect. And I really wouldn't want, although our school is great right now, we can make this school and our community even better if we were to offer more classes for them, just so we can all, even if I graduate and I still don't know what I want to be in the future, I at least have more chance of slimming it down. And I feel like that's really important, so we're not wasting more money in college.
That's great. Yeah. We've covered a lot of ground in this video, but if people are watching and maybe they still have questions or they're still unsure of how to vote or something like that, what should they do?
Yeah, just call the district office if you have questions about the vote. You can call my office at 507-333-6016. You can always email me. Any questions that you have or concerns that you have about this, please give us a call. We think it's really, really important that we answer all of your questions.
And the vote is on November 5th.
November 5th. You can also vote early. You can do absentee ballots. Those are available at the district office. Call Kathy, 333-6010, and she can get you an application for an absentee ballot to fill out. And that goes through November 1st. But feel free to do either one, absentee ballot right now, or you can go vote on November 5th.
Or if you'd rather, feel free to drop a question or comment in the comment section right in this video, and we'll be happy to respond as quickly as we can. Want to thank everybody for being with us today. It's super important that we're communicating well and making sure that you know that people that are in your schools and our community are doing whatever we can to make sure that our students have a great experience at school and that they're set up for success. So we appreciate your time, and until next time, we are Faribault.